women in treatment centers. A man who owns a Fortune 500 company cannot go home and beat the shit out of his wife without going on the news for it, correct?
Correct.
Right. But he can call a scumbag, right? And say, hey, you got somebody I can torture?
What's up? Welcome everybody back. This is the Sober Game Podcast today. And I got a returning guest in the building for part 2 of one of our interviews we did. Y'all listen. I'm going to be blunt and I'm going to be direct. On this channel right here, we have raw and uncut stories from people who've been through the struggle, people who've been down and out and trying to build their life back together, who are trying to do the things the right way. So if you tuned in right now, let me tell you what you will receive out of this episode. You will receive information, knowledge, and understanding. So if that's what you're seeking right now, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button and stick around to the end. And to the newcomers, the new viewers out there right now, if you do not know anything about my show, I would still love for you to stick around, just see what we can bring to the table. Because this is the Sober Game Podcast, where we try to inspire people in addiction. So please stick around with me, because I got a great guest in the building again. We will be doing part 2. So stick around, everybody. Let's get this show on the road.
3, 2, 1. Drive me around. I'll pay you.
Hello and welcome to the Sober Gang Experience podcast with Mr. Showout TV. It's great to have you here with us today. I hope this podcast provides you with the inspiration to continue your journey towards a sober lifestyle. Please click the like and subscribe button before you start watching. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everybody. I am your host today. I am Mr. Showout TV, and this is my show, the Sober Game Podcast, where we love to inspire people in addiction. So if you're trying to get information, knowledge, and understanding about your addiction, I would love for you to stick around to the end, because I got a great guest in the building, and she will be sharing some more of her graphic and detailed interview that we had. This is the part 2 of this episode. So stick around. And the reason I am able to talk about this, everybody, because I've been through addiction myself for over 17 years. And I climbed my way out of that darkness that I was in. And I created this channel so we can have a platform for everybody to have a platform to come to. This is what I created. This is the Sober Game Podcast. So everybody, please stick around with me to the end. I also got some great things that I will be sharing with y'all to the end, but you cannot find out unless you stick around. So we're going to get right into this interview right now. I'm going to welcome Jennifer to the stage. Welcome back, Miss Jennifer. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, things are lovely. Things are lovely. How's this Monday going to you so far?
It's good. It's Monday. The sun is out. I can't complain.
That's a blessing. So we go jump into it, Miss Jennifer. So we was talking about last time about your addiction and being in a sex trafficking ring. I would love for you. We go start off. I would like to ask you this question. What are the ways? I mean, how did he really groom you in at the beginning? I know you love to say when you talked about it with drugs and everything like that, but what are the ways that they like to try to groom you to get you captured into that lifestyle?
Really, aside from drugs, it was just a lot of like complimenting and a lot of like going above and beyond, and like now I look at it and it was a lot of control, but back then it was just like, oh, he's so sweet and he's so nice, and he turned into like a super boyfriend. You know, he would bring me to work, But was he bringing me to work to bring me to work to be nice, or was he bringing me to work so he could have control of my car? He was bringing me to work so he could have control of my car. He wasn't bringing me to work to be nice. And he was bringing me to work so I could work crazy shifts. I mean, I would go to work at like 6 a.m. and I wouldn't get off till like midnight. Or, I mean, I was so hopped up on dope, I just worked, and then handed my entire paychecks over to him. Like, no questions asked. I wasn't even, here you go. I wasn't even worried about it.
And that's another reason I know you said also, when they get you hooked on dope, do they introduce that to you, or was that a thing that you was already doing and they just implemented that into it? So explain how they get you hooked on to the drugs.
I had never even seen methamphetamine in my life. I knew about it because my mom had used it for years, but like to see it in real life, I had never even seen it. I'd seen it on movies, but to like actually see it and feel it, I had never seen it in my life, ever. And within, I don't know, 10 minutes of meeting him, it was in my hand. And he was gonna take care of me and it was gonna be fine. And that was it. That was it.
So when you first experienced that first high with methamphetamine, did that just give you a sense of rush? Did it actually make you think you could trust him?
I don't know what made me think that. Like, it literally within 10 minutes of meeting him, I was like, oh my gosh, he's the best guy I've ever met. I'm gonna marry him. He's gonna take care of me. Everything's great. I don't know what he was. Nobody's ever done that before. Like, he just waltzed in this room and like he knew exactly what he was there for. He knew exactly, like this man knew. He had done this many times before. He was good at it. He walked in this room, locked eyes with me, and it was game over.
So I would like to ask you another question, Ms. Jennifer. When did you realize, like, I know I had asked you this before, but when did you really realize that you really had an addiction with methamphetamines? You know, when they really introduced you to it. Well, did they give it to you on a daily basis? How did they try to get you to do it often, or whenever you did services for them, they offered it to you, or just give it to you every day?
After that initial meeting, that was it. I used it. First of all, I needed it all the time because after that initial use, after the first 10 minutes I met him, it was the best thing I ever had in my life. And I could work like a crazy person. I was a nurse and I could work. And I was really, 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 really good at my job. I was good at my job anyways, but I was exceptionally good at my job in my eyes. I could work more. I could help more people. I was faster. I was happier. So I thought. I was nicer. So I thought. Not the truth, by the way, at all. Was I happy that I was taking care of my patients high? No. Am I proud that I did that? Absolutely not. Would I have wanted that for my family members? No. I'm not proud of that. It's just something that happened. But after that initial use, I had to use it. I was so like, oh my gosh, I've never felt this way. And having a previous brain injury from an accident, my brain felt like it was working like it used to. So that was really attractive to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can think like a normal person. And it was great. And being a bigger girl, I was like, ooh, I'm skinny. I had lost 210 pounds in 7 months. Like that.
Wow.
And I was like, woo! Getting all kinds of attention. By the way, none of it good. None of it.
Right.
Zero. None of it good. I looked like shit. I thought I looked awesome. I didn't. I looked horrible. But he was telling me how awesome I looked, of course. It wasn't true. So I was using, on my own, I was using quite a bit. But then, you know, if he saw me getting tired, or I would say I wanted a break, or he noticed that it would be like the day 3 and I'd kind of want to take a nap or something like that, then it was, oh no, I got some more here. You don't have to buy this. I got this. This is just for you. Because I would buy a little bit and then it was, oh, you're out? Here you go. Then I was like, oh, I only have to buy a little bit and then he's just going to give me a whole bunch? Okay. So that's how that went.
So basically,
and then I decided that I had to do a lot of things to get them.
That's when
but
the
then I didn't care because I was so high. I didn't care.
Yeah, so that's really how they keep you in shambles. They keep on feeding you with the drugs and everything like that. So I would like to ask you this question: like, what has been one of the things that actually help you? You know, when you're trying to process, and has it been therapy, counseling? Are you still doing therapy and counseling?
Oh, yeah. So, you know, things that have been helpful, there's been many things. So in the beginning, therapy was not helpful for me. There was so many things to like dissect and go through that none of it just brought back so much trauma that it would just kind of swirl me right back into using. There was a lot of different therapies that I tried, but a lot of them were too advanced to like where it was just too much for me. So there was a lot of things that were tried, but in my early recovery, it was just too much. It was just too much. I wasn't ready for any of that. And I finally got to the place in recovery where I could dissect some of it. I could dissect some of it and get to like a place where I could start peeling back some of the layers of like, okay, this is kind of what, you know, just certain layers where it was a safe place to like start to talk about it and, you know, kind of get to the bottom of things and kind of get to a safe enough place where I could actually do something about it. It took a while. It took a long time.
Were you
It's
scared?
still taking a very long time.
Were you scared, or just was you hesitant about it? You just didn't want to open up open up those doors again. Was you scared about the situation?
All of the above, but mostly scared to death because he was still out and he was still free and he was still doing what he was doing. And not only that, but he was looking for me actively. He was actively looking for me. And I was scared to death. And he's in federal prison now, but all the people he worked for, I don't know them. And that's in my head daily. Still.
So if it's anything that you wouldn't, you're not willing to talk about, please let me know.
Sure.
So, I would like to ask you this question. Okay. Would you like to talk about the environment that they had you in?
So the environment was my own home. I had bought a home, but it was pretty much, the environment was pretty much a prison. He had converted, I had a walk-in closet in my bedroom, and he had converted that into like, I guess you could just call it like a torture chamber. Mm-hmm. He had I'm short, I'm about 5'0", mm-hmm. And he had like a big, he had like a big thing, like a big bar, and when he was gone, selling dope or doing whatever he was doing. I'm sure he had other women that he was trafficking. I wasn't the only one, I'm very sure. So when he was off doing whatever he was doing and I wasn't allowed to be around other people or doing anything else, I wasn't allowed to be driving my car, he had it, or doing anything really. I was allowed to be in my home, and that was it. And when he was afraid I'd be doing something or having somebody over, family or whatever, he would leave me and make sure that I was not free. I was in my home, in my closet. And he would make sure that I had ligatures on my arms and legs. And he would hang me from the top of the closet. And then he would, I had always told him I am not going to intravenously use drugs. I'm not doing that. I was a nurse. I knew the dangers. It's not something I was going to do. He made that decision for me, so I did it. And he would wait till he had me tied and secured, and then he would use a needle and use a big hit of dope on me, and then he would put music on really, really loud, and he would give me one sip of water, and he would leave me. He would shut the doors, and there I stayed. Sometimes it would be a few hours. Mostly it would be a few days. 2, 3, 6. He would pop in and out maybe on those 6 days, 1 or 2 times, inject and leave. Defecation, all of that would take place, and I was just there. I was high, and my arms were purple, my legs were purple from just hanging, and that's just what took place.
So ever at one point in time, did you ever feel like that? Did it ever hit you that like this ain't it? Them being in your house and you being high like that. Did you ever feel like that this shit just was something wasn't right about this situation?
Yeah. The whole time. But what could I do? He was mine. I was everything. He was so great for me. Why would he be hurting me? He was making money for me.
Right. Did he ever bring other women around you? Did you ever see the other women or?
I heard other women. I never saw anyone. Ever.
Okay.
Ever. I heard other men, other associates, I would assume, but I never saw anyone. There's one occasion that I saw one woman, and I can speak about it because it was an actual case that happened and was solved. There was a woman. I had been up for about 5 days, and he said, "Get in the fucking car, we're driving to the cities." I said, "I can't drive, I'm tired." So after he punched me and I picked myself up off the floor, he said, "Don't ever tell me no. You're driving me to the fucking cities. Let's go." So it was about an hour drive. We drove down to Minneapolis, in the parking lot of a Walmart, in the hood. And there was a girl that owed him $600, probably from a job she had done. And I don't know what she handed him, but it wasn't $600. And that was the only girl who I had seen. And the only thing that I remember is he was in her car. I was right next to her in my car. And she handed him, I don't know, like I said, I don't know how much money it was, but it wasn't the right amount. And he pulled his Glock out and he shot her in the head. Got out, got in my car, said, "Drive, bitch." That's the only girl I ever saw.
Wow.
and I see her every day.
That's what I'd like to ask you also. Are those dreams and nightmares? Are you having trouble sleeping? Because I know a lot of people that going through things like that. A lot of people just don't get to sleep, and is it troublesome trying to sleep and get a rest, knowing that he might still have people out there that's probably looking for you? Hopefully not.
Absolutely.
That the things that you saw and things that you witnessed. And you're a strong lady. You're a strong woman, and I salute you for that also.
I absolutely. I even have trouble like being with people. Like if my family is like, "Hey, do you want to go here?" I feel like, "Oh my gosh, am I putting them in danger?"
Right. You still looking out for everybody else, even at the expense of yourself. That's awesome. Because
I feel like I'm always gonna be in danger, so it's whatever. But like, are you sure you want to be with me? Because you know,
this come with the territory, right. How did you cope with the physical and sexual abuse? I know you was pretty much said that you was always drugged up, but how did you cope with that?
Well, I think that what a lot of people don't understand about trafficking is, well, and I didn't understand it either. I thought that, well, first of all, before any of this happened to me, I thought trafficking and prostitution were exactly the same thing.
Right, I did too. Yeah, I kind of knew. Yes, I kind of did too. Yeah.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I thought that I had done something wrong. And I also thought that, which a lot of people think, is being trafficked is sexual. For me, the act itself of sex probably happened 3 times in my whole trafficking disaster. It was all torture, because this is how I explain it to people when I speak to women in treatment centers. A man who owns a Fortune 500 company cannot go home and beat the shit out of his wife without going on the news for it, correct?
Correct.
Right. But he can call a scumbag, right? And say, "Hey, you got somebody I can torture?" And he's not going to go on the news for it.
Right.
So that's the kind of shit that happens. So you got scumbags who sell that kind of stuff, you know? I had, those are the kind of clients I had, if you can even call them that. There were businessmen, Fortune 500 company owners. There were Super Bowl ring holders. There were NBA players. There were rappers. There were all of that. Doctors, lawyers, executives. That's the kind of people that do this stuff. That's not the only kind of people that do this stuff, but that's the kind of people that do this stuff.
Yeah, the ones with a lot of money.
The ones who can't go home and torture their children and their wives because they're going to go to prison for it.
Right.
And they're going to lose their businesses. So then they call the scumbags and do it to people like me instead.
Wow.
So that's the kind of people that you're dealing with. Like when the Super Bowl was in Minnesota, I can't tell you how much money I made for that man. And it was celebrity after celebrity after celebrity. And there were a few, and obviously remain nameless, there were a few that walked right out of that room and said, "I will not be a part of this shit." But there was only a few.
I mean, and
that's what trafficking is. Trafficking is not, "Hey, I'm going to have a booty call." That's not what that is. They are torturing you. And I'm talking about wrapping shit around your neck, like bringing you to like the brink of death. That's what that is.
Hey, you a tough SOB. You a tough SOB, because I'm just saying this, Jennifer, because a lot of people just wouldn't even know what to do with it in a situation like that. You know, some people just fold up, some people just give up, some people, you know, but you persevere through all this shit. I mean, hey, have you ever thought about writing a book? Have you ever thought about writing a book?
I've been asked that a couple of times.
Yeah, because, you know, like I said on the first episode, Jennifer, a lot of people don't really know the details of what goes on with trafficking, because a lot of people don't make it back. A lot of times they don't make it back, Jennifer. And can you expound on the fact that when the time that you didn't almost make it back, when he tried to set you up to try to take you out? You would like to talk about that?
There's been several times he's tried to set me up to take me out, and you know, I honestly,
if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to, Jennifer.
I honestly don't know. Somebody somewhere wanted me here, because on so many occasions, there's been so much that like people just do. It's insane. That man has tried to kill me on so many occasions, and he's not, you know, he's not the only one that I've put in prison. 3 other people that he actually sold me to, in different counties of where I live. And now they didn't get hardly any jail time. They got jail time, but hardly any. We're talking like 6 months and a fine. 6 months and a fine for federally accepting $60,000 and like locking me in their home. Like that's what we're dealing with these cases. It's because there aren't enough cases, and these attorneys don't know how to handle them. There's not enough cases that people are getting time for. That's the problem. Because people don't get a chance to speak out because they're getting murdered. So there aren't enough cases, so they don't get any time. Like, there's not enough cases to make an example out of these people to get enough jail time. So he got caught, but he was a 65-something-year-old white man who had health problems, and they just said, "Oh, he's sorry." Oh, is he?
I got it.
There's just not enough. There's not enough happening. There's not enough.
Wow. What do you feel like the laws or the state can do? You don't think it's really nothing they can do? I mean,
until there's more people that just push the envelope and just say, "Hey, I'm gonna die either way." That's where I'm at right now. Because here's my thing: I'm gonna die either way. Because either he's gonna find me, or they're gonna find me, or whatever. And I'm either gonna die, or I'm gonna die in my closet. So either way, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna die with a voice. So you might as well take me out screaming than take me out locked up and quiet. Because until other women stand up and say this is bullshit, then nothing's gonna happen, because there aren't enough cases.
and why
The case that I federally put him in prison for 79 years, but that's the only the only fourth case in 50 states. The fourth federal case for a trafficker. That's ridiculous.
Why do you think a lot of women do not want to speak out? Or
They're dead. They're dead.
Like I said, you one of the chosen ones. Like you said, it's a reason why you still here. And I salute you. And also, I'ma always be praying for you because, like you said, when them people got people in them high places like that, man, yeah, just always, I'ma always be praying for you, Jennifer. I'ma always be rooting for you at all times. And also, like I said, if there anything that you do not want to speak on, just let me know. Just let me know.
You know, I think about that, but then at the same time, it's like closed mouths don't get fed.
Right.
And for so long, my mouth was made to be closed, and nobody gets helped. If it's hard for me, it's hard for me. Nobody gets helped if they don't hear it.
Thank you again for doing this. Thank you again for doing this interview. I got another question I would like to ask you. At some point, you know, when you was living in that torture and doing everything, did it ever feel comfortable to you? The sex, the drugs, did it ever just start feeling like, you know, okay, this shit is okay? You know, did it ever get comfortable?
Yes. Yes, and I would say all of it got comfortable because I felt like the torture, I felt like I deserved it. After so long, it's just like, well, I'm a piece of shit, so do whatever you want. And the drugs, that's the only thing I do to like escape. So give me and yeah, that's where I thought I deserved to be. So it was where I wanted to be. It was comfortable. And like I said in my last interview, you know, the last time I used when I was almost strangled and all of that jazz, like I didn't care what happened to me. I was hoping I didn't wake up. I prayed every time, well, when I did sleep or when I did inject, like, God, let this be it. Oh, let this be it. I was pushing the envelope every time, like, more dope, different people. I did not care. I was hoping that would be the last time. Because I did not care.
How are you dealing with your addiction right now? How are you handling being, you know, since you've been recovered and so your sobriety? How are you dealing with that?
You know, this winter has been really tough for me. I can't even lie. It's been a tough winter. Like mental health has been a big issue for me this winter. It's just been, I've had a few setbacks. My trafficker, who was not supposed to be able to contact me because he's in federal prison, actually did contact me about a month ago. And that's really been, it's been messing with me for sure. I didn't contact him back. I didn't show that I answered it or anything like that. And I contacted my team and everyone to keep me safe. But it's just another like, how did he get a hold of me? How did someone let that happen? Type of deal. And just like normal family stuff, like when you're using, and just kind of ready for the weather to change. I live in, you know. So
you're doing good, Jennifer. I mean, hey, like you said, we could be doing worse. You know what I mean? Everything could be fucked up. You feel me? But
yes, I do.
One thing about it is you are surviving. You are living. You are amongst the land of the living, and you're able to tell your story. So, you know, that's one thing that you got going for you. And I would love for you to get with your team and try to figure out how is he contacting you, you know, because, you know, really just need to read.
Well, they really should be watching. Like, I don't understand how that happened, so.
Right. You know, there's always kinks in the armor, but you standing on guard because I know you're a tough SOB. Because I know it. You might be 5. You a tough SOB. Hey, that's what I love about you. You got that spunk in you. That's probably what kept you going. You know, because a lot of women, you know, some women don't even have that strength to keep going, and they'll just give in. You know, so I salute you on that. Also, I got another question for you. What have you learned about yourself after everything you've been through with the traffic? I mean, what have you learned about yourself?
I think that I have more in me than I thought. You know, when I was using, I was so quick to give up. And now I feel like I just don't really have the choice. And like, everybody has a choice to give up, but I personally don't give myself the choice. Because the second I give up, I could just be right back in it. And of course, maybe not everybody in recovery, I can't speak for everyone, but for myself, it runs through my head on an off day, like, well, what if I just one time? Well, that's so stupid because I know what my one time looks like.
Right. It's most of us like that, Jennifer. I'm gonna just be honest with you, because we are recovering addicts. Yeah, we gonna have slip backs. Yeah, we gonna have downfalls. It occurs in all our heads every day. So if y'all out there watching right now, I'm telling you, from a recovering addict, for myself, for Miss Jennifer, those thoughts will occur in our head, but the only difference is when we act on it. That's the thing. You know, if we act on those, we can go down that spiral, because like you said, that one time just ain't that one time. Because if I can say, oh, you know what? Fuck it, I'm finna go spend like $60 on a bag of cocaine. That's $60 finna turn into $400 in just 2 hours. You know what I mean? So now you're right back in it. You know, you knee deep in it, as they say. So. Man,
I just had that feeling the other day. I was like, man.
Because you know one thing about it, we always tell ourselves that, you know what, I can probably get away with it this one time real quick. You know what I mean?
I know this one trap house. They'll still serve me. I know it. I know they will.
Right.
You dumbass.
Yeah. So, I got another question for you also. Finish this sentence for me. My name is Jennifer, and today I have realized
that I still have a long way to go. I do. I still have a long way to go. I'm not perfect. My recovery has a lot of work, but I'm not where I was.
Okay. Out of everything you've been through, I know you have answered this before, but I love to ask my guest speaker this, because it's one thing that I like to ask myself on a daily basis. You know, I write down certain things that I ask myself to. So, out of everything that you've been through, what have it taught you? What have you learned about the whole situation, about yourself, moving forward?
That you can't trust everybody, but you have to trust yourself. I used to be just the opposite. I would trust everybody, but never myself. And that's what got me into trouble.
Okay, moving forward. What are your plans? I know your plans is to take it day by day, because you know, when we in our recovery, that's what we got. We got to take it day by day. We just can't really look too far down ahead, because, you know, we just don't know what it might happen. But, you know, in your mind, what do you want to focus on? What do you want to try to get into, like helping others and speaking out?
I think to just keep sharing my story. Because if, like I said last time, if one person, even a person who's not suffering, if one person gets even even understands the difference between trafficking and prostitution, or what grooming is, or anything like that, or a politician hears my story and says, we got to fucking do something about this. This is not right. There's no laws to support this. Like, this is not okay. Then I've done my job.
Yeah, you're doing it. You're doing it also. You're doing a great job at it as well. Like I say, continue to fight. And if anything, me and you connect. So anything you need from me, just do not hesitate to give me a call. But if you just want to talk or anything like that, because I know what you went through, and I hate to really keep opening these doors for you. So that's why I asked you, if you want to do it, this interview, okay. But if you don't, I understand.
I think it's really important. I do.
Thank you.
Because there's not very many women that are able to, and they're not able to because they're not here.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna get you out of here today. And is there anything right now that you would love to tell a young woman, a young lady, or even women right now that is watching about the grooming stage, what to look out for, or just some understanding? Is there anything you would like to tell them?
If it feels wrong, it probably is. Go anywhere. Go to any women's center. Go anywhere. Tell them you feel unsafe and don't leave. Get help. There is a trafficking team at every single police station. Talk. Period. That's all. Talk.
Enough said. Thank you again, Miss Jennifer. Thank you again for blessing the show. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. You too.
Thank you. Thank you again, Miss Jennifer. I know. One thing about this, y'all, I made sure I asked her before the show, because opening up those old wounds can bring back trauma and memories that I do not want her to be going back through. On this show right now, I care more for the speaker than anything. If it's something they do not want to talk about, we don't have to go there. But this is the Sober Game Podcast. If you just tuning in right now, this is part 2 of I Survived Sex Trafficking and Addiction with Miss Jennifer. Thank you all for tuning in today. Like I said, if you stay with me through the end of this, I got a kicker, everybody. I would love for you, if you watch this right now, I would love for you in the comment box below. Let me know what I should name the next title of my next episode. Yeah. So whoever got the best title, that's what I would name the next episode, and we would go from there. We trying to create a community, everybody, where people can come to and just share their stories. And I think I'm doing just that. But I'm also doing with the help of others. Every one of my guest speakers, they help out much. They contribute a lot because they contribute information, knowledge, and understanding. There's a lot of things on this episode today that I didn't know anything about. I'm learning just as well as y'all. So that's what we're going to continue to do. We're going to continue to learn. We're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to prosper in this addiction. And thank you all today for joining me on the fight as I battle addiction with my cast of guest speakers. Make sure you press that subscribe button and become a member of this show. We creating something special, everybody. Tune in next time, and I'll see y'all again. Mr. Showout TV. Yeah.
Welcome to Mr. Showout TV Recovery and Addiction YouTube channel, where we hope to inspire those battling addiction. Please subscribe and like the channel. Make sure you click the notification bell to get notified whenever we broadcast. Thank you and enjoy the show. To support the channel, you can send donations to Cash App $Mr. Showout TV. So please don't wait, subscribe now. Together we can help and give inspiration to millions of people.
What's up, everyone? It's Mr. Showout TV, and thank you for choosing my channel to come to for great content about addiction and recovery-related topics. Let's continue to inspire those in addiction. Let's continue to make a difference. Let's continue to subscribe, everyone. Continue to subscribe and continue to hit them like button. Let's get these likes up, and continue also remind yourself to hit the notification bell, so when anytime I go live, you will be notified. Let's continue to inspire those in addiction. Thank you so much for choosing my platform to come to for great content. Continue to watch my videos and continue to share the message. Mr. Showout TV.